All right, let's bring in our guests. We have in the studio the Assistant Court Marshal in charge of operations nationwide, FRSC, Hyginus Omeje. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Omeje.
Thank you very much.
Now, I can just imagine how overwhelming it is for the FRSC, especially this period, and coincidentally, beyond the rainy season, it's the ember months. So tell us, what is at stake this period, especially for road users?
Well, I think for road users, this is a period everybody needs to be more careful while behind the steering. The rainy season is already here, and all we can do is to adapt our driving to suit the prevailing situation we have on ground. Like you rightly captured in the those documentaries prior to our coming on air, you will notice that I'm happy that people know what the issues are here, especially during the rainy season, that if we speed, we are endangering our life, especially when it is raining. So for us as officers, it's more tax on our side in terms of enlightenment, in terms of educating the motoring public on the proper use of the road at this period. And for the motoring public, it's about changing our attitudinal predisposition to the use of the road. Yes.
Indeed, and I like the fact you just ended with attitudinal change. This is something that has been hampered on over time, especially during sensitizations by the FRSC. Am I correct?
Yeah, very correct.
So are you taking these campaigns to, Road Users Association, talking about commercial drivers now? When your car is functioning properly, of course, these accidents can be avoided to some extent, right?
Yeah, it can be avoided. All crashes are preventable. Let me just put it that way. If what is required to prevent that crash does not lie within your purview, it definitely lies within the purview of the next person or the next motorist, who, if he does what he's supposed to do, that crash will be avoided. And let me also reiterate what you had the core public enlightenment officers of the corps said. And it's about our men now. We have come up with a special enlightenment campaign within this period. We go to parks in form of park advocacy and also educating the motoring public. You see our operatives sharing flyers, and you also see us more on air educating the motoring public. And it's important that we look at what are the issues here. What are those things that we really need to be careful about? We have talked about the speed of an average motorist when it is raining. You need to slow down your speed each time you are driving and the road is wet, because definitely at that point in time, if you apply your brake, it might not just, your stopping distance will increase. And it's also important that even before we start the vehicle in the morning, you notice that we are quick to check our oil, we are quick to check the water level in our radiator, but nobody remembers to check the wiper, which is what will help you if it starts to rain and you are already on the road. So we must endeavor to ensure that our wiper blade, that they are functioning. And also, we need to be very careful about your tire at this period, because if the tires have worn out, definitely it's going to also increase your stopping distance at this period when the road is wet, because it's definitely going to be slippery. There's just this layer of water between the road and the tire. And that's why if that groove that is always on the tires have worn out, then the groove serves as a gutter, sort of, to channel this water, but it's not there. Then you find out that if you apply your brake, your stopping distance will definitely increase. So these are the key issues we need to do. And you also notice that visibility is also poor during rainy seasons like this. Occasionally, and at times when it wants to rain, you notice that it's as if night has actually come, which means that you just be sure that you see and you are also seen. And for you to ensure that you see and you are seen, then your headlamp and, of course, your rear lights should also be working. So these are issues.
Yes, indeed. Even your AC has to be working because of the dew.
Yeah, exactly.
But something very important, Mr. Omeje, is the speed limit device. If you recall, in 2016, it was introduced, and then it was enforced in 2017, February to be precise. If we look at what has been happening over time, it's more than 8 years now, about 8 years now. How effective is compliance? Now, not just for articulated, okay, that's a tongue twister there, articulated vehicles, but also for commercial vehicles and also private car owners. What's your record saying as regard compliance?
When we started this scheme, it is purely for commercial fleet operators, and we are still on commercial fleet operators. We have not entered the private vehicle operators. We are saying that all commercial fleet operators must have their vehicles installed with a speed limiting device. And the reason is very simple. In the event of a crash, you find out that the fatality is always higher with passenger carrying vehicles, and that's why we are focusing on that. And I tell you, the level of compliance is high, but we are not yet there, I must confess. We are not yet there. Many more still needs to install this device. And one other challenge we have also noticed is that we've noticed the issue of tampering with this device out of sheer ignorance on the part of the drivers, where you see a company actually installs a device and the driver at the other end, because he wants to make as many tons as he can, goes and circumvents it, and we have tackling it. We have also devised another means of checkmating them, and that's why recently the corps procured radar guns and distributed it across all the sector commands within these critical corridors, so that with it we'll be able to really know those vehicles that are above the speed limit, which simply means that what you installed, even if you claim that you installed it, that you have tampered with it. So that is the program is still an ongoing one. We are still enforcing it, and I know we'll get there one day.
All right, Assistant Court Marshal, we have to take a break. We'll pick up with the... All right, Mr. Omeje, going by that report and the ones we've seen previously, you know that the factors are just there that contributes to the road crashes. But as part of digitization of the FRSC, recently we saw the mobile app that was relaunched, talking about the National Road Crash Reporting System, information system, if I get it correctly, to monitor situations and get accurate data. Tell us how effective that will be, especially to reduce road crashes or to monitor the situation.
Well, the app that we launched recently, like you rightly pointed out, is one way of FRSC leveraging on technology to see how we can address some of these challenges. That app is a one-stop shop where all FRSC processes are just articulated for the benefit of the motoring public. One thing that is in that app is that that app has all the black spots where you could envisage that crashes could occur on Nigerian roads in 8th. And as such, each time a motorist is getting close to those black spots, you will get a beam that you are approaching a black spot. And what that simply tells you is that you should slow down, because anything can happen here. Not only that you get a bill, it also have the physical characteristics of that place. So if you look there, you will also see that physical characteristics that have been embedded in that app for you to know that you are approaching that black spot.
So how does it work? The road user just need to download the app,
You
right?
just need to download it. It's in the Play Store. You just need to download it, and of course, depending on the service of FRSC you want to. Now, one is just the issue of those black spots. Another one is also that you can also, through it, even check the speed of the vehicle you are in, even as a passenger. Because if the man is going beyond the stipulated speed limit for that road, you, the passenger, you will also get a beam that this driver is going above the speed limit. And as such, you need to caution him. I think we are shifting emphasis even more from the driver now that the passengers also have a role. If you see something, say something. Don't just allow the man to carry you like a sheep being led to the slaughter and go and waste your life somewhere. If you are in a vehicle and the man is driving recklessly or driving dangerously, then it behoves on you as a motorist, because road safety is a shared responsibility for you to also raise up your voice. And that's why everybody must download this app so that you can get yourself equipped. The man should not just, you paid to get safely to where you are going. You didn't pay to end up in the mortuary. You didn't pay to end up in the hospital. So that is why that app is very important. Another major feature is that with that app, you can also, give us eyewitness report of what happened, what you saw.
Okay.
You saw a crash on the road, you could just use it because it has a camera, you can just picture it and send it to us what you saw. Or even the attitude of the driver behind the wheels, you can also use that app. And also the attitude of our personnel, because we need a feedback mechanism to serve Nigerians better.
Okay, yes, talking about the feedback, right?
Yes.
And I hear from the, in the control room, they're asking the name of the app. That's the National Crash Reporting Information System Portal, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It is a two-in-one. That one was to report crashes. But remember that the other one also have other services embedded in it.
Okay, so I know everybody will start downloading that app right away.
Let them go to the Play Store and download it. And also our website is also an FRSC website. If you go to our FRSC website, you also see
it. Mr. Omeje, we don't have much time, but I want you to remind those who have forgotten of the penalties involved when you flout traffic rules and regulations. Just in case they've forgotten, can you remind them, please?
Well, depending on the one that you flout, but the one I know that is commonest among us is the issue of use of phone while driving. Each time you drive and you use your phone and you are ticketed, you are already coughing out 4,000 naira to the government coffers. And should you also drive dangerously, you also drive without a driver's license, 10,000 naira might go off your pocket. You know what that means. And like I said, it depends on the violation and what you did. Tire violations, 3,000 naira will go off you. But I think the most, the one that everybody should remember vividly is that all those ones we are talking is just money. But the greatest penalty is that you could end up in the mortuary. And I think your family, that's not what they are asking of you. You owe your family a duty to be alive and live up to your responsibility.
Thank you so much, Assistant Corps Marshal for the FRSC. He's in charge of operations, Hyginus Omeje. Thank you. Keep up the good work. We'll keep monitoring developments as they unfold. We're not praying for anything unfortunate, though, to happen. Well done.
Thank you very much.
All right, and just a reminder, just go to their website and get that app downloaded on your phone. You can save your own life. Let's take a break. We'll be back.